I'm Lauren Whitehurst. I'm a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition coach.
Hi, I'm Sunny Lippincott. I'm a certified professional life coach and a certified brain health professional.
We also have Angela Salyers, who is a licensed professional counselor, and the three of us together make up
Whole Life Vitality.
We teach whole life vitality of the mind, body, and soul, bringing the physical, emotional, and spiritual together for whole life wellness. Welcome back.
Welcome.
We are here today to answer some of your questions. It has been long enough now that we have actually quite a few questions from people who have messaged in, and we thought it would be fun to address a few of them.
We've asked and you answered.
Yes.
With a question.
So thank you for that. Also, I feel like we're both in rare form this morning, so it'll be fun to see how this one goes.
Everybody has those days.
Everybody makes mistakes. I can't. I was nannying during the Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana era.
Oh.
And the children that I nannied were obsessed. So I think I know
With Hannah Montana?
every single Hannah Montana song. And during that same period, the Miley Cyrus songs, because there were some that were Hannah Montana and some that were Miley Cyrus.
This is true.
And I know them all. They all exist in my brain. All right. So someone on YouTube wrote in to us and said, and this is a question for our resident mindset coach. This would be the comment about my entire life, because I would love to know the reason for pretty much everything that has ever happened, because it sucks.
Okay. So context for everyone else, talking about there's a reason for why you're going through things.
Yeah, the video was, the sound for the video was, I know everything happens for a reason, but have you ever wondered, what is the reason?
Okay. And so their comment is that they would also like to know what is the reason, because everything has sucked.
Yeah, what is the reason for everything? Because apparently there's no good in the world.
Okay. And ultimately what they're saying is there's never been any good for them in their life, because everything has. She's talking about past tense. Everything has sucked. So I'm going to
That
address.
would be my assumption based on the way
I'm
it was
going to
written.
address this first. With mindset, how we speak to ourselves is so important. Mm-hmm. But especially, this is called using generalizations. And I like to tell my clients and people I speak with, when you generalize, you're telling yourself general lies. So we have to be very, very careful when we're using words like everyone and always and never and all the people, those types of things, because it basically highlights to your brain that you have never, when you say never, I have never had, anything that works out to my good.
I don't think, I'm sorry, I just need to pause you for a second, because my brain glitched when you said general lies. I don't think I'll ever be able to hear that word the same way again.
It's true. You're telling, every time you generalize something, you're telling yourself generalize, like every time. And you can think back to, listen to kids, and they're like, everyone at school has one. I need one. Mm-hmm. Now you're telling me that you can go into the school and every single person has a pair of Jordans. Mm-hmm. Every person has one.
Last night, my son is finishing up his school project, and it's due today, and they've had 3 weeks to get this project done. And granted, he's worked on it a handful of times, but it's kind of a big project. And I said, Bud, he asked to go to the store to get more supplies late last night. And I said, that time has passed. We don't have time for that anymore. And he goes, I've asked you so many times if I could. And I'm like, hang on. We're going to pause for a second. What are you talking about?
Right.
And he's like, well, no, but remember I asked 2 days ago one time. And I said,
so many times.
And in that one time, there was something going on that it couldn't happen, And I was like, okay, well, let's not rewrite the story here. Let's do what we can in this moment right now.
Yeah.
And we made it work, and everybody was fine, and he actually finished it like a champ. I was very proud of him. But I think we all have a tendency to do that.
Yes, but what we're not understanding is that that is actually doing something inside of you.
Yeah.
When you say that to yourself, that, everything has sucked, your brain is listening to everything that you're saying. So it's going to react by producing those neurochemicals in your brain that says, feel bad, feel despair, feel like there's no hope, because that's what you've said. So
and then you get validated for having those negative thoughts, because those negative thoughts give you a whole heck of a lot of dopamine.
Yeah.
And so then your brain said, well, actually, in the worst way, that felt good.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
so
you're
now I wanna do that
justifying.
again.
Yeah, it feels in your body justified, but it's bad. You're
still
doing
not
yourself
feeling good.
a complete disservice.
Right.
So I always, I don't always. I do try to hear it with my kids when they say it. Generalize. When they're saying, Mom, we always do this, or we always, and we never, and you never, like really stopping. And so I want you to first and foremost, get out a piece of paper and a pen and write down the things that have happened to you, good and bad.
And it's okay to have both.
It's okay to have both, but I want you to see that there is both.
Yeah.
When you actually start paying attention to your life and in the terms of what has actually happened to you, you will realize that the generalization is the problem here. It's not that everything has sucked, it's that in your mind, everything has sucked.
Right.
So it's telling yourself that lie over and over and over again, but actually start writing them down and listing. And that's why I encourage people to have a morning routine and to speak gratitude, because what it's doing is it's teaching your brain to look for the positive things in your life. And so that's building the muscle that's telling you not everything sucks. Not everything it all has not sucked. Listen, there are bad days.
Absolutely.
There
So
are going
many.
to be bad days. I have bad days. But they're still good. Even in those bad days, there's still things to be grateful for.
I was the other day, I think I told you already, I'm going to tell you again because it was just that funny. My daughter and I were having one of those mother-daughter moments, mother-daughter teenage moments, and it was a rough interaction. And she was just looking for something to be angry about. And I was getting more and more and more and more upset. And I'm sitting there talking to her, and I said, you can be thankful. I was so mad. You can be thankful that you have a roof over your head. You can be thankful that you have clothes to wear. You can be thankful that I'm taking you to and from the things you need to go to. And I'm listing all these great things that she can be thankful for. And I'm so angry. But even in that space, yes, the intense feelings were there for both of us of being upset. But even in that space of being so upset, there's still things to be thankful for. And I could point those things out to her, and she was still mad about it.
Yeah.
But we're planting that seed.
Absolutely.
And, you use the word gratitude, and you do your gratitudes in the morning, and that's so important. But you can name it whatever you need to name it. You can just say, things I like, or things I noticed that weren't bad. Like if the word gratitude is triggering. Yes.
What made me smile today?
If the word gratitude is triggering for you and you're like, oh, I just don't want to do that, then call it something else.
Whatever you have to do. But that's what I would advise you first. When you are at a place that you cannot understand why anything has happened the way that it's happened, then the first step is to start speaking correctly to yourself, but start speaking gratitude too. Take that list out, and then first write down like everything that's coming to your mind, good and bad, when you look over at your life. Because odds are, if you go back to the point that you can remember, you're going to find something in there that made you smile.
Yeah.
Something. Because even people that were raised in really traumatic like homes, growing up, there was still someone that made them smile. Someone, maybe outside of the home, that made them feel seen, that made them feel heard. Someone walked into their life at some point and let them know that they mattered. Something, someone took time with them in some capacity. So you might have to go back, but there's something there. And so you can look back and say, okay, well, maybe everything hasn't sucked. And when you open the door to realize that everything hasn't sucked, then you can actually walk through that door and start saying, well, I've got this, and I do have this, and I do have this, and I've got this. And all of a sudden that purpose starts to present itself. Like, okay, if you have these and you have that talent or that gift or that ability, what can you do with that?
Your husband shared a really fantastic podcast with me, and I will link it below because it was very good. And in this particular podcast, they talk about the importance of reframing, the power of reframing.
Yes, reframing is huge.
And they were saying that things either happen for you or they happen to you. And it has 100% to do with how you frame it. And some people call it the glass is half full or the glass is half empty. But however you choose to look at a situation, that's what you take from it.
Right.
So if you're going into this situation thinking everything happens to me and everything sucks, then it will always be that way.
Yes. And it's a generalization.
And that is an always that you can depend on because you're going to continue to reassure yourself of that narrative.
Right.
But if you reframe it and say, this happened for me, I had a tumultuous upbringing. I was sexually abused as a child, and there is no point in that time that I thought this is a positive thing.
Absolutely.
Not once have I ever thought this is a positive thing. When I got cancer as an adult, I did not think this is a positive thing. But what I could do is I could reframe those situations and say, wow, look at what I've come through. Look at what I learned. Look at how strong I am, how resilient I am, and what I can use to share and give to others.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You took that and those things. I don't even have words. There's not adjectives for me to describe, when sexual abuse of any kind, or something as, just life-changing as cancer. Those are so heavy. You almost can't give it a word. But, to say that sucked is not even skimming the surface. But what happens is when you can find the gratitude in parts of your life, you can start building the muscle of, okay, why am I here? What can I do? How can I help? And those things that are so dark in your life, you've been able to give a gift of understanding to other people. I've never had cancer. I can offer support, but I can't understand what that person feels like.
You're really good at being supportive.
Well, thanks. But, the number one human desire is to feel understood.
Yeah.
So the amount of reach that you can have on people because you understand them. And so to this person, I will tell you, you understand something on a deeper level that no one else can understand. You understand something. You've gone through things in your life that I can't understand, that Lauren can't understand, but someone else is out there struggling, and you can offer to them the gift of understanding. Yeah. So you have something in you that you can use to better the world.
Yeah.
So that suck, as you called it, is transformative if you allow it to be.
And if that suck has taken over all of your mental capacities, all of your mental faculties, and you can't find anything good, anything worth sticking around for, it's time to reach out. It's time to talk to someone. It's time to seek help. It's time to talk to people who either know you better or have the understanding to know where you are and where you can go, so you can get some perspective.
There's no shame in that. You should never feel, when I say never, I am saying never.
These are the always and the never that are legit.
This is the way. You should never feel the shame about getting help, about reaching out, about sharing your feelings, your heaviness. Growing up in the 90s, there was a lot of shame around,
such a stigma around
therapy,
around
therapy,
counseling, around
like if
health.
you were in therapy, ooh, they were crazy. No,
or you were really rich.
Yes. But there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
There is no shame. I'm going to use this absolute. Never feel shame when you are at a point that you need to talk to someone and get help, because you are at that point of despair that, try as you may, you can't come up with one thing in your life that you feel grateful for. That's the point. Reach out and get the help, because someone is going to be able to walk you through these things even, deeper than we can do it right now, but they want to get personal with you. So we need to know, you don't have to give it to us, but when you find that person that you trust, they can dig deeper and, pull those things out of you that you're not being able to see right now because you're in the valley. So they kind of lift you up out of the valley, so you can kind of see things for what they are. But it's so helpful to talk through your feelings, talk out your feelings, your emotions. They matter. Your feelings matter.
You matter. 100%. Everything about you. There's so much value there in just you existing, that if you came to me and said, well, everything sucks, I could look at you, just look in your eyes, and easily list 10, 15, 20 things about you that are so worthy and so lovable and so valuable. And I don't even know you.
Right.
So there's so many reasons, so many ways to find joy in your existence. And it takes practice.
Yes. So if you are at that level, definitely reach out and ask for help. Otherwise, do what we said, take that list out and start lifting, think back, earliest memories, good, bad, ugly, what it else, get it all out, journal all of that out, and start implementing some gratitude. Think about your day yesterday. There's an off chance that you smiled at least once. What made you smile?
Even if you were laughing at someone.
Yeah. What made you smile? What made you smile? And start building upon that. Build up that muscle of gratitude.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you to our resident brain health specialist, life coach. She is phenomenal. Sunny is my coach. And
Lauren's
actually,
mine.
We had a coaching relationship before we had a business relationship.
Yeah.
And it was in working with her and through some stuff on my own that I thought, oh my goodness, you would make a phenomenal business partner. Let's do this together. And
Here we are.
That's what brought us here. So, she is a phenomenal person to talk to. Please reach out. You can find us at wholelifevitality.com, on all of your social media platforms at Whole Life Vitality. This is at Sunny Lippincott as well if you want to reach her personally, directly. And we're here.
Yes.
We're here for you.
And thank you for your comment.
Yes.
Like, we appreciate the feedback. Some of it, not so helpful, but it's still, you're commenting.
Some of the comments, and thank you so much to our lovely community, because some of the comments really do provide comedic relief.
Yes,
that I just totally appreciate.
Yeah, some of them make us smile.
Yes, which is great. But it took courage. It took bravery to put yourself out there like that, and that is something that would make me smile for you.
Yes, we always appreciate that. So thank you. Keep them coming.
Yep. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.